to standing. Lift and roll the shoulders. Lift the toes and place them down. And then just sway from side to side. Start to slow this down. Lift and roll the shoulders again. Breathing in, snake the right arm up, stretch up, turn the head to the left. Stay here for an in and an out breath. And when you're ready, breathe in to bring the head to the centre. And breathe out to lower the arm down. Breathe in, snake the left arm up, stretch. Breathe out, turn your head to the right. Stay here for an in and an out breath. And then bring the head back to the centre as you breathe in. And as you next breathe out, lower the left. And then step the right foot behind the left, which I'm having to readjust. Raise the arms up. Hold your, I'm going to say the left wrist. Don't, which, and go to the left, which feels the better stretch. We'll go to the other side as well. And lower the arms. So then it's the left foot behind the right. That's so. Yes. Raising up. So hold perhaps the right wrist and just go to one side and go to the other side. Come to the centre. Lower the arms and then just come back to normal. Breathing in, raise the arms, clasp, reverse, stretch up. Laterally to one side, stretch up, and laterally to the other side, stretch up. Lower the arms, lift and roll the shoulders, hands on the waist, turn to look over the right shoulder. Doesn't matter if you've gone the other way. Come to the centre and turn to look over the other shoulder. Come to the centre of the head. Soften the knees and bend at the knees. Perhaps look down and feel the lower abdominal muscles just engaged a little bit. And then breathing in, come to standing. And just lift the heels. And lower. Lift and roll the shoulders and clasp the arms, hands behind you. Open the shoulders. Just lift the hands away from you a little bit. That will open the shoulders more. If that's too much for you, then just lower the hands. And then breathing out, turn to the left. Stay here for an in and an out breath. Come to the centre. And breathing out, turn to the right. Come to the centre. Release the hands and just circle the wrists in one direction and circle the wrists in the other direction. Open and close the fingers. And then just lift one foot and circle the ankle one way, and then the other way. And just lower that foot and lift the other ankle. One way. And then the other way. And then lower foot. Come to feet hip width apart. And I'm just going to come back to a hip focus. Hands on the hips as you swirl. One way. The more exaggerated the swirl, the more you're stretching. But you can keep it to where you want to. And then circle the other way. And then lifting on the shoulders. And this is taken from Kundalini Yoga. It's called Breath of Fire. Have your thumbs extended. 30 degrees. If that's too much for your shoulders, just bend them a little bit. And how do I describe it? You're breathing in and out through the nose, but very loud. So it's and then breathe in, hold it, thumbs together, and then just breathe out, soaking your wrists down. Just take a couple of breaths to come back to normal. Hands together at the heart centre, half salute to the sun. Soften the knees, arms up, stretch up. Look up if that's good for your neck, if not, look ahead. Draw the energy through the hands through the centre of the body, soften the knees, slide the hands onto the shins. Half lift, breathing out, softening. Breathe in, half lift, and stay here as you breathe out. Soften the knees, press the feet down, roll up to standing. Raise the arms up to the side and just lower. Hands together at the heart centre. Again, half salute. Soften, stretching up. Half lift. Stay here as you breathe out. Soften the knees and roll up. Arms up. Just lower. And once more in your own time. Come to the top of the mat. I wanted to do this yesterday. You know the modifications to make, so stretching up, soften the knees, hands to the mat. A step or slide the right foot back, stretch the right leg out, and then lower the right knee to the ground. Slide the left leg out. Feet tucked or flat, cat cow, dipping the back, round. Again, few times to your own breath pattern. And as you next round, tuck the toes. Either come into downward dog if that's not for you today, and then we're going to come into a standing position. So if you're going to come into downward dog, come into a downward dog. Lengthen the back, lengthen the legs, walk the dog. Lowering one heel and then the other. And then walk your feet to your hands to your feet. However you come up, come to standing. Soften the feet. And roll up to standing. Hands up. And just circle the wrists down. Come to the other side. Hands together. Soften. Stretch up. Come through the hands to the centre. Hands to either side of you. Slide the left foot back. Stretch it. Lower the left knee. Slide the right leg back. Cat to cow. And then on the next round, deal with the back. Tuck your toes. Again, optional to come into downward dog, but we're ultimately going to come back to standing again. So, downward dog, walk the dog. And then your own time. Walk your feet to your hands to your feet. And just circle the wrists down. Lift and roll the shoulders. I wanted to do modified warrior one, so step your right foot forward and out of turn. Balance your left foot at 45 degrees. Breathing in, soften the front right knee, cactus arms opening here. Breathing out. Breathing in and out. And breathing in. If you can raise a little bit further, hold the breath in. Breathe out. Just make a loose fist and bring the arm forward. You're just watching your thumb. If your shoulder is stiff, bend at the elbow. Your eye, neck, and comes mindfulness as your perspective changes slightly, as your gaze changes. And then just roll back the other way. The eye is a muscle. Anything else that needs to be exercised. Just release. Step your right foot back, maybe lift and roll the shoulder just to reset it. And come to the other side. Right foot out slightly, 45 degrees, left foot so that you're out as far as you need to balance. And breathing in, soften the front knee, open the shoulders. Breathing out. Breathing in. Last time, go a little bit higher. Hold the breath in. Out. Make a light fist And just circle the arm forward. And then just circle the arm back. And then just step that foot back. Feet apart, just slide your hands down. Turn your fingers inside above the knee and just slightly sway from side to side. Let your neck relax. And then just drop your hands to the ground, coming forward. And heel toe your feet in. You're comfortable hip width apart. Soften the knees and roll up to standing. Just hands onto the collarbones, breathing in, hands out, breathing out. A couple of times to your own breath pattern. Just release. Lift and roll the shoulders. Hands together. We're going to come to a seated position with legs out in front of us. Flesh out from under the bottom. And then hands to be relaxed. Yogically you're like this, but relaxed. Toes up, toes away. Just getting into the circulation. Breathing in, toes up. Breathing out, toes up. And just start to circle the ankles in one direction. And circle in the other direction. And then roll to that Kundalini right knee, just bang your big toes together if that's too much for you. Then don't, just go through the motion. It sets up vibration in the body, which is anti-stagnation. And just let that go and go side to side, just moving the ankles in a slightly different way. And just sitting up, just very gently hug the right knee into the chest. Lift the right foot off the ground and keep your back straight, so this will go into the abdominal area. And then just place the foot to the floor. And just open the right knee out to the right. And just circle the right ankle again, but do this with your hand manually. One way. And then the other. And then either thread your fingers through your feet, if that's too much, go over and just open the lung meridians. Where else are you getting into, Sue? Are you getting into your sinus, maybe? Or?
Yes, I mean, all your everything respiratory, nose, sinuses, are at the top, like third of your foot, yes.
And then just hug the right knee into the chest and just open the knee to the right. You can bring your left leg out to the left toe is up slightly, hands just to either side of you. turn the body to the left outstretched knee, and just this is a modification on Janu Sirsasana, just slide the hands down the left leg. If you prefer to have your hands to either side of the leg, that's fine. You don't need to come very far. It's calming for the nervous system as the chin comes into the chest. It stretches out the back of the neck, opens along the vertebra, but we're not coming forward too much here. And getting the breath into the back, foot will focus subtly different. Opening the right hip, lower lymphatic system. You might feel this on the outer right side of the hip as well. And just very gently tummy in as you slide your hands up. Hug your right knee to your chest. And then just stretch your right leg out. Just massage around the knee. And then just come to hug your left foot in. Lift your left foot off and feel that your back's straight. So it's a very half, it's not boat, it's almost like a minor mini boat. And then just turn your left knee out to the left. And with your right hand, just circle your left ankle in one direction. And circle in the opposite direction. And then either fingers thread or just hands over to do the same on the left foot. Just opening the feet out. Sitting up, bringing the left knee out to the left, Janu Sirsasana on the other side, extending the right heel, turn, fingers touch the ground and lift your body, then turn to the right leg, leading with the chest, just come forward, as little or as much as you would like. This simple pose ticks quite a few boxes. If you want to fine-tune it, then if you think of your sides around the intercostal muscles, you should be lengthening evenly on both sides, which I find quite difficult because I crunch down slightly on my right side. But technically, you should be lengthening each side equally. And then just very gently sliding up. Hug the left knee into the chest, and then slide it back out again. Just bounce the legs and just massage around here and bounce your legs. Maybe rub everything, pat everything. Coming into Baddha Konasana, which is the soles of the feet together. Yogically, you have your feet really in, but you are allowed to put your feet out to wherever that works for you. You can classically hold your feet, you can open your feet like a book, or you can hold your ankles and any parts of the body that Sue wants to mention or you want to reference?
Do you want anything
Just-
you want to?
Do lower back?
Lower back, yes, I have to put one foot down. Your spine runs from the inside, that's inside, isn't it? Inside of your big toe. And if you just follow the bone up through the arch of your foot and then down again, just like an arc. So it's not actually in your instep, it's I do it here, and show it here, like up here
Yeah,
and down here. What did you ask me, sorry?
lower back.
Lower back. My brain. Well, the lower you get, the lower on your back it is. So you can get, if you know what parts you've got the problem with, you can actually count down because there is actually a notch on that bone for every single one of your vertebrae, believe it or not. So lower back comes towards the lower, obviously the lower part of your foot there towards your heel. So mine, I'm L2 and 3. I've got the problem. Is about sort of here. Yeah, I can feel that. Just there.
It's just muscular, really, because it's sort of
Yes,
more
yes. I mean, it
Yeah, I
helps
feel
the
it there,
muscles
yeah.
as well because it
Yeah.
helps the whole area. But if it feels more on one side than the other, if you do both feet, you
Yeah.
can find that the one side
I've
that
got
hurts
one
the
with the
most, you
left
can
side.
feel it a little more tender on that
Yeah.
side. And then just sort of, getting your thumb in there. No, not too hard because it's not too much if it hurts. Just gently sort of manipulation and rubbing the points down there is supposed to free up the channels to allow the body to heal itself.
This is very interesting. So just, while we're doing this, of course, your inner groins are open, so it improves blood flow to the lower abdominal area and opens up or it's meant to connect into your lower lymphatic system as a
Well, as you're here as well, particularly in this position, that your lower lymphatic system is around your ankle area, both inside and outside. So it's obviously hard to access the outside of your feet, but it's quite a good way you can do both of the insides of your. So if you just go around all the soft tissue around the inside of your, around the outside of your inside ankle bone, you see what I mean? That's your lower lymphatic system.
That's interesting. That's painful, just like,
Can you feel something there? Yeah, so that could be. Yeah, I mean that can be connected, obviously, to problems if you've got hip problems or lower back problems because you get
you're
referring
referring that
pain
area.
down there. Yeah.
Lower back, non-medically, of course, is often linked to stress. Because on the non-medical side, people get very stressed. It's almost like your core is attacked. People slightly come forward and they've often got a weak core.
Yes,
Yes.
that puts a strain on your lower back, doesn't it? Yes.
So it puts a strain on your lower back because your core is not supporting you. And you need both sets of muscles, which is why they go on around the core so much.
Yes.
You need both sets of muscles to sort of like tighten you. People often, as you come forward,
Yes, because that's not a
It's dropped forward.
It's not a good
thing.
postural position, is it?
You're also crunching up your lungs and everything, but you're compromising. You're not. Your core is weak, and often people leak energy from their centre. Going back to martial arts, where in the James Bond film, someone just comes up and punches him in the stomach, and he takes it. Fine, but one of the things is just pushing somebody, seeing if they go off centre and go backwards because their core's not engaged. So coming then to
So before you sit down, your top is you've got all little sort of fairy lights on the wall behind you with the sunshine.
Oh yes, you have. Yes,
Yes,
it's
it looks like
the sequins.
little fire.
Yeah.
Fireflies.
oh right, I guess I can see it now. It's the angel wings that you can see beyond that.
So if you were yogic, if you were really good at yoga, would your legs come right down to the floor?
They would, but then that comes
Maybe they have
down
to
to
me.
your external stroke internal rotation of your hips.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Gonna happen to
looking at
me.
you, you're
Mm.
internally rotated
Yes,
as
I
I
am.
am. As I
Yes,
am.
I am.
I can't.
So
I
definitely.
can't. I mean, I could get my feet right up to my.
Mm.
Ballet
Body.
dancers tend to be externally rotated, don't they?
You're right.
Mm.
Yeah,
You're right.
I can't get my legs down.
No, I can't.
And I'm not medical, I was quite interested to see all various hips and you know, is this a female,
Female, yeah, female.
sitting in the hip sockets. Some are very shallow hip sockets, some are really deep, some are
Mm.
set forward, some are set back. And I'm thinking, gosh, you think all hip joints are the same, but
No,
they're
you
not.
said they're not arm, they're not, yeah.
So if you don't naturally externally rotate, then that's difficult.
Right, yeah.
And for us who are internally rotated, when you're
Mm.
doing warriors, triangles, or anything like that, if you just subtly angle the front foot inwards, it helps on the alignment.
Okay, actually, really
And
well.
when you're doing a very fast-paced salute to the sun, and you go from downward dog and step your front foot up,
Mm.
and it knackers your knee out,
Mm.
what you do is when you step your front foot forward,
Mm.
you put your weight backwards
Yeah,
to then go forward.
right.
And it just balances it and it stops that massive pressure here.
Oh, okay, yes, yes, yes.
Come to life.
Mm.
Just hug your knees into your chest first of all and just rock from side to side. Then just keep your left knee hugged in, stretch out your right leg. Just circle your left knee a couple of times in one direction, a couple of times in the other direction. And then roll the whole body over to the right, maybe use your left arm, elbow to support you. Left hand on the waist. In theory, the left shoulder should stay on the ground, but that's sometimes a bit tricky. Right hand, a bit tricky. Mine's right up in the
Yeah, it's mine.
left hand and right hand on the left thigh. Yes. You're supposed to, as I said, keep your shoulder on the ground. But I do recognise that's tricky.
I've got my right shoulder.
I was just going to say that, yes, right shoulder's absolutely fine.
Both shoulders.
Oh, God.
And just a couple of breaths here. Eyes open or closed. Maybe looking to the left. And then just roll onto the back. Perhaps both feet go onto the floor to allow you to press your feet down, lift your bottom, twist it out. Hug both knees into the chest again, and rock from side to side. And then keep the right knee hugged in as you stretch the left leg along the ground. And then just roll onto towards the left. You can always have a support underneath your, if you're at home, or bolster underneath your knee. In this case, it would be the right knee. So right hand goes on the waist, left hand goes somewhere on the outer right thigh. And turn to look to the right, up to the right, maybe eyes open or closed.
That's easier from the left than it is on the right.
Interesting. Well, we're not even, are we?
No, but I
So-
can't get my knee to the floor, so that's.
Doesn't matter. No, if
My
I get my
shoulder.
yes, if I get my knee to the floor, then my shoulder goes right up in the air.
Yeah.
So it's being comfortable. It just allows you to open up all kinds of ways. Again, it's a very simple exercise, but it's really ticks a lot of boxes. And then when you're ready, think about rolling back. hugging both knees into the chest and rocking from side to side. And then drop your hands underneath your thighs. I'm going to clasp my hand and find it easier. And just raise both legs up to the ceiling. You can keep bending your knees and just sway from side to side. And then bend the knees into the chest. Support your legs perhaps underneath, place both feet back onto the ground, knees up to the ceiling, and maybe have your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. You can have them as wide as the edge of the mat. Palms down, and you just sway your knees from side to side. Your hip can lift. Your head will turn as well. Don't worry about whether it turns with, in the direction or against the direction of the knees. Just go what comes to you naturally. This is a rotation in terms of the spinal movement, and it's also a somatic movement, so you have a sensory appreciation of the pose, the sensation of a massage across your lower back and across the back of your head, which within the somatic movement is supposed to not dominate, but the sensory aspect. That means that you're not engaging your mind to do the exercise or do the movement. So it's calming for the nervous system in that respect. And then as your knees drift to one side, just let them stay there. Your hip will really lift off the ground. Your knees won't be on the ground necessarily. You're just stretching out one side. So if your knees are to the left, then you'll feel that stretch along the right side. And then tummy in to bring the knees to upright and just let them swing or sway over to the other side. Of breaths. And come back up to the centre. Just bring your feet together. There's Baddha Konasana on the ground, of course, where you open your knees, but if you open both knees outwards, it can pull slightly on the groin area. So palms are down, and we're just going to do one leg at a time. So let the right leg open to the right. The right knee might or might not come toward, it will come towards the ground, it might not touch the ground. And you're feeling that you're just opening the right inner groin. It's almost like an oyster or a clam at each shell. The left foot stays where it is, the left knee's up to the ceiling. And then very gently bring the right knee back to the centre. And then let the left knee drop out to the left to wherever it goes. When you do one side at a time, it can sometimes allow you to get into that pose a little bit more easily than both. And then very gently bring the left knee up. So we're going to do lying tree instead of standing tree. So extend the left leg along the mat and just open the right knee as you did before. Your hands can be palms down or they can rest on your abdomen. You can extend your left heel to feel that you're engaging your left leg. If you want to take tree in its purest form, you can either keep your hands on your abdomen or bring them to prayer by your chest, or in tree sometimes people raise their hands above their head. You can keep a bend in your elbows and just relax your thumbs, the fingers on the floor, mimicking tree. Tree, of course, is a balance, but it's also engaging with the standing foot, which we're doing, and you're opening out the inner groin, so you get a better opening here than perhaps if you were doing tree standing. And then just bring your arms down, bring your right foot up, and change over so that you then bend your left knee and stretch your right leg out. Extend the right heel, and when you're ready, open the left knee to the left. And choose your hand position of either palms down alongside you on your abdomen, at the heart centre, or above your head. If you choose to have your arms above you, then you're opening the upper lymphatic system, but you can always keep a bend in your elbows. And then just very gently lower the arms and bring the left leg up. Bend the right knee and then just hug both knees into the chest. And then just bring the feet down to the ground. We're going to do, which we've done before, a lying triangle. So extend both legs along the ground. Open the right leg to the right. Lift the right arm up along the ground as far as you feel able to. If you don't want to lift it, almost imagining triangle. And then slide your right arm coming over, almost imagining standing triangle. You stretch your right arm out to bring it to the right shin. So you're not going to necessarily get to your right shin, but you just bring your right arm down, and I can only get to my knee, as if you are touching your right shin, right foot out. And you're mimicking a triangle. If you want to start with having your left hand on your waist, or you can raise your left arm above you so that you're completely doing the triangle. As I said, your right arm won't go anywhere near your shin like it would do if you were standing. You do get that stretch. Really opening the left side. If that's too strong, just bend your elbow a little bit. So you don't stretch out so much. Or keep your hand on the left waist. And then just coming out of that, just ease off by hugging the knees into the chest and rocking from side to side. And then just stretch the legs out again. And this time, imagine that your left foot is coming out to the left. Try to reverse it, the left arm comes out. And then just slide your body over to the left, as if you're touching your left leg. And your right hand can either be on your right waist, or you can do the triangle by raising your right arm above you. You can bend it at the elbow. You get much more of an opening here than you might do perhaps standing. And then very gently come back. Hug your knees back into your chest again. Just rock from side to side. And then hug the knees into the chest. And just let them gently bounce out. And repeat that a few times to your own breath pattern. This might not seem like it is an upside down child as well. So it's common for the nervous system, even though we're lying on the back. And after a stretch like triangle, you should be coming forward a little bit, just to neutralise that stretch, so this does that. Just very gently. Think about bringing your legs back down to the ground. And either keep your knees bent in constructive rest, so that means that the knees touch each other and your feet are a little bit out to the side. Particularly good if you've got a stiff back. Or if you want to come into Shavasana, that's fine too, just relax. So we're just going to take a few breaths with nothing to do. Awareness that the body sinks to the ground. Just lightening the thoughts. There are the physical, mind, body, soul connection, not just everything connects into everything else. Breath, base of the nostrils, cooler. And as it comes out, just become aware of the sounds inside and out. sit